The foundation of strength. Welcome to a different kind of English lesson. Tonight, we're not just learning words, we're building character. We're not just studying grammar, we're studying what it means to be a strong man. Let these English phrases sink deep into your mind while you absorb the mindset of true strength. Every strong man starts with one fundamental understanding. Your life is your responsibility. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can always control your response. When you wake up each morning, you have a choice to take ownership or to make excuses. The man who takes ownership grows stronger every day. The man who makes excuses grows weaker. Your life doesn't happen to you. It happens because of you. Challenges aren't obstacles, they're opportunities. Every difficult situation you face is a chance to become stronger. Think of challenges like weights in a gym. They're heavy and uncomfortable, but they're what build your strength. The easy path makes weak men. The difficult path makes strong men. When you face something hard, remember, this is making you better. This is forging you into the man you're meant to be. Your word is your most powerful tool. When you say you'll do something, you must do it. Not because others are watching, but because you're watching. Every time you keep your promise, you build self-respect. Every time you break your promise, you damage your own character. People will judge you by your actions, but you'll judge yourself by your integrity. Let your yes be yes, and your no be no. Emotions are like storms. They come and go. A strong man doesn't try to stop the storm. He learns to sail in rough weather. Anger, fear, frustration, these are natural. But letting them control you is weakness. The real strength is in pausing, breathing, and choosing your response. Master your emotions, or they will master you. This control isn't about suppressing feelings, it's about directing them productively. Hard work is the price of admission for a meaningful life. There are no shortcuts to anywhere worth going. The man who looks for easy ways out finds himself going in circles. The man who embraces hard work finds himself moving forward. There's dignity in sweat, in effort, in pushing through when you want to quit. Your work ethic defines you more than your talent ever will. True strength protects, never bullies. The strongest men use their power to defend those who can't defend themselves. They stand up for what's right, even when it's unpopular. They speak for those who have no voice. This protection isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It's about creating safety for others. Your strength is measured not by how many people you can dominate, but by how many you can protect. The world changes rapidly, and the strong man adapts. Learning isn't something you finish in school. It's a lifelong journey. The man who thinks he knows everything has stopped growing. The man who remains curious continues to evolve. Read books, learn new skills, listen to people who know more than you. Your mind is your greatest weapon. Keep it sharp. Purpose is your compass. Without it, you're just wandering. A man with purpose wakes up with direction. He knows why he's doing what he's doing. He understands that his daily actions are connected to his larger mission. Find your purpose, that thing that gets you out of bed, even when you're tired, that drives you forward, even when it's hard. Finally, strong men build other strong men. Your success means nothing if you achieve it alone. Lift others as you climb. Share what you've learned. Encourage your brothers. The world doesn't need more isolated, successful men. It needs men who create success around them. Your legacy isn't what you build for yourself. It's what you build in others. Let these principles settle in your mind as you rest tonight. The English language is becoming part of you, and the character of a strong man is taking root in your soul. Tomorrow, you'll wake up a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more the man you're meant to become. Part 2. The Mindset of Resilience. Now we continue our journey into what makes a man truly strong. The foundation we built is crucial, but the mindset you carry determines everything. Let these next principles settle in your mind as you listen. A strong man understands that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every great man has failed, often many times. What separates strong men from others is not that they never fall, but that they always get back up. When you fail, you're not failing. You're learning what doesn't work. Each failure brings you closer to what does work. The man who never fails never tries anything worthwhile. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline remains. The strong man doesn't wait to feel motivated. He acts because he's disciplined. He wakes up early even when tired. He works when he doesn't feel like it. He stays focused when distractions surround him. This daily discipline compounds over time, creating results that seem like magic to others, but are simply the product of consistent effort. Your circle determines your future. Strong men surround themselves with other strong men. They seek out those who challenge them, who tell them the truth, who push them to be better. If you're the strongest man in your circle, you need a new circle. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose those people wisely. A strong man knows when to speak and when to listen. He understands that he doesn't know everything, and he remains open to learning from others. He speaks with purpose, not just to hear his own voice. When he doesn't know something, he admits it. When he's wrong, he acknowledges it. This humility isn't weakness. It's the wisdom to understand that there's always more to learn. Physical strength matters, but mental strength matters more. Your body will age and weaken, but your mind can grow stronger until your last day. Train your mind like you train your body. Read difficult books. Have challenging conversations. Sit with uncomfortable thoughts. A strong mind can endure anything life throws at it. Strong men create rather than consume. While others are scrolling through social media, watching meaningless entertainment, the strong man is building, creating, producing. He leaves something behind that wasn't there before. Whether it's a business, a book, a family, or a community project, he focuses on creating value rather than consuming content. Patience is the companion of wisdom. Strong men understand that great things take time. They don't expect overnight success. They plant seeds and water them consistently, trusting that growth will come in its own time. They understand that the most valuable things in life, strong relationships, deep knowledge, meaningful success, cannot be rushed. A strong man faces his fears. He doesn't pretend they don't exist. He acknowledges them, then moves forward anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of fear. Every time you face a fear, you grow stronger. Every time you avoid one, you grow weaker. Your legacy isn't what you say about yourself. It's what others say about you when you're not in the room. Live in such a way that people speak well of your character, your integrity, your impact. The strongest legacy isn't wealth or fame. It's the positive impact you have on other people's lives. Let these principles guide you as you move through your days. The English language continues to become part of you, while the mindset of a resilient man takes deeper root in your character. Tomorrow presents another opportunity to practice these principles, to grow stronger, to become more of the man you're destined to be. Part 3. The actions of leadership. The foundation is set. The mindset is clear. Now we move to action, because a strong man is defined by what he does, not just what he thinks. Listen closely as we explore the daily actions that separate ordinary men from extraordinary leaders. A strong man leads by example. He doesn't tell others what to do, he shows them. He arrives early, works hard, and maintains his standards even when no one is watching. People follow him not because they have to, but because they want to. His life becomes his message. The way he handles pressure, the way he treats people, the way he perseveres. These are the lessons that inspire others. Every strong man serves something greater than himself. He understands that true meaning comes from contribution, not accumulation. Whether it's his family, his community, his faith, or his principles, he dedicates himself to something beyond his personal desires. This service gives his struggles purpose and his successes meaning. The man who serves only himself remains small, no matter how much he acquires. Strong men make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Indecision is a form of self-torture that weak men endure. The strong man gathers the necessary information, weighs his options, then acts decisively. He understands that a good decision made now is better than a perfect decision made too late. Once he commits, he follows through unless compelling new evidence emerges. A man of strength builds systems, not just goals. He understands that goals give direction, but systems create progress. Instead of just wanting to be fit, he creates a daily workout habit. Instead of just wanting to learn English, he practices every morning. These systems become the architecture of his success, working for him even when his motivation fluctuates. Strong men maintain physical vitality. They understand that the mind and body are connected. They eat well, move regularly, and respect their physical health. This isn't about vanity. It's about having the energy to handle life's demands and the vitality to enjoy its rewards. A tired, unhealthy body makes everything harder and diminishes your capacity to lead. Financial discipline is non-negotiable for a strong man. He lives below his means, saves consistently, and invests wisely. He understands that financial freedom creates options and reduces stress. More importantly, it allows him to act from a position of strength rather than desperation. Money is a tool, not a goal, and he masters its use. A strong man protects his time fiercely. He understands that time is his most precious resource. Once spent, it can never be recovered. He eliminates time-wasting activities and people from his life. He's present in conversations, focused in work, and intentional in rest. Every hour is invested, not just spent. Strong men practice gratitude daily. They recognize that focusing on what they have, rather than what they lack, transforms their perspective. Gratitude isn't denial of problems. It's the recognition that even amidst challenges, there's always something to appreciate. This practice keeps them grounded and positive. A man of strength knows when to rest. He understands that recovery is part of performance, not separate from it. He schedules downtime, protects his sleep, and recognizes when he needs to recharge. Pushing through exhaustion is sometimes necessary, but making exhaustion a lifestyle is foolishness. Finally, strong men leave things better than they found them. Whether it's a room, a relationship, a business, or a community, they improve what they touch. They fix what's broken, clean what's dirty, and heal what's wounded. This mindset of improvement becomes their legacy in miniature every single day. Let these action principles guide your tomorrow. As the English language continues to settle in your mind, let these habits take root in your daily life. Each day presents new opportunities to act like the strong man you're becoming, to lead, to serve, to decide, to build, to protect, to appreciate, to rest, and to improve. The journey continues with your next choice, your next action, your next demonstration of strength. Rest now and wake up, ready to act. Part 4. The Heart of a Warrior. The foundation is poured. The mindset is set. The actions are clear. Now we reach the core, the heart of what makes a man truly powerful. Listen deeply as we explore the inner world of strength. A strong man knows the difference between being heard and being respected. He doesn't speak to fill silence or to prove his intelligence. He speaks when he has something meaningful to contribute. His words carry weight because they're thoughtful and measured. People don't just hear him, they listen to him. This respect is earned through consistent wisdom, not demanded through volume or aggression. Every strong man has a code he lives by. This isn't a list written somewhere. It's the unwritten rules that guide his decisions. He knows what he will do and what he won't do. He understands that some lines cannot be crossed, no matter the temptation or pressure. This code becomes his compass in confusing situations, his anchor in stormy seas. When faced with moral dilemmas, he doesn't wonder what to do. He consults his code. Strong men embrace solitude. They don't fear being alone with their thoughts. In fact, they seek quiet moments to reflect, to plan, to simply be. This solitude isn't loneliness. It's the space where clarity emerges. The man who constantly needs distraction and company is running from himself. The strong man regularly sits with himself, understands himself, and strengthens his relationship with himself. A warrior's heart feels deeply, but acts wisely. The strong man isn't numb to emotion. He's deeply attuned to it. He feels anger, fear, sadness, joy. But he doesn't let these feelings dictate his actions. He acknowledges the emotion, understands its message, then chooses his response. This emotional intelligence allows him to connect deeply with others while maintaining his center. Strong men practice forgiveness, starting with themselves. They understand that carrying resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. They forgive others not because those people deserve it, but because they deserve peace. More importantly, they forgive themselves for past mistakes, understanding that growth requires failure. This forgiveness isn't weakness, it's the ultimate strength. A man of strength knows his value doesn't come from external validation. He doesn't need likes, shares, or applause to know he's worthwhile. His sense of worth comes from living according to his principles, from keeping his promises to himself, from becoming a little better each day. This internal validation makes him immune to the opinions of those who don't matter. Strong men see obstacles as opportunities to innovate. When faced with a wall, they don't just bang their head against it, they look for ways over, around, or through. They understand that limitations often breed creativity. The very thing blocking their path becomes the material for their breakthrough. This adaptive thinking turns problems into advantages. A warrior knows when to advance and when to retreat. There's wisdom in knowing which battles to fight and which to avoid. The strong man doesn't feel the need to prove himself in every conflict. He conserves his energy for what truly matters. Sometimes, the strongest move is walking away from a fight that would cost more than it's worth. Strong men build rather than break. They focus their energy on creating, improving, and elevating. While others criticize and tear down, they're busy building solutions. They understand that destruction is easy. Creation is what requires real strength. Their legacy is measured in what they've built, not what they've destroyed. Finally, the strongest men remain students of life. No matter how much they achieve, they maintain beginner's mind. They approach each day with curiosity, each challenge with a learning mindset, each person as a potential teacher. This humility keeps them growing long after others have stagnated. Let these principles settle in your heart as you rest. The English continues to become part of you, and the warrior's heart grows stronger within you. Tomorrow brings new opportunities to live these truths, to speak with purpose, to follow your code, to embrace solitude, to feel deeply, to forgive freely, to validate yourself, to innovate through obstacles, to choose your battles, to build rather than break, and to remain forever a student. The journey of strength continues with every beat of your heart, with every choice you make, with every moment you choose to be the man you're destined to become. Rest well, warrior. Part 5. The Mastery of Presence. We've built the foundation, the mindset, the actions, and the heart. Now we arrive at the ultimate expression of strength, mastering the art of being fully present. Listen carefully as we explore what separates good men from great men. A strong man understands that his attention is his most valuable currency. In a world designed to distract, the ability to focus completely on what matters is a superpower. When he's with his family, he's truly with them, not checking his phone, not thinking about work. When he's working, he's fully immersed in the task. This presence creates quality in every aspect of his life. The present moment is where life happens, yet most men miss it. They're either regretting the past or worrying about the future. The strong man learns from the past, but doesn't live there. He plans for the future, but doesn't anxiety about it. His power lives in the now. This moment, right now, is the only one where he can actually take action, make a difference, or experience joy. Strong men listen to understand, not just to reply. They give people their full attention, making others feel truly heard and valued. This quality makes them exceptional leaders, partners, and friends. They understand that sometimes the most powerful thing they can offer is their complete presence. No advice, no solutions, just genuine attention. A man of presence handles one thing at a time. He understands that multitasking is a myth that creates mediocrity in everything. When he's reading, he reads. When he's exercising, he exercises. When he's in conversation, he's fully in that conversation. This single-minded focus produces better results in less time and with less stress. Strong men practice the art of deep work. They create spaces of uninterrupted time where they can dive deep into important tasks. They turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and protect their focus like the precious resource it is. In these periods of intense concentration, they produce their best work and make their greatest breakthroughs. The quality of a man's presence determines the quality of his life. The man who rushes through meals, speeds through conversations, and constantly checks the time is missing his own life. The strong man savors experiences. He tastes his food. He notices the sky. He appreciates the moments between the big events. This mindfulness transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. A present man recognizes when he's not present. He notices when his mind wanders to past regrets or future worries. He gently brings himself back to the now without judgment. This awareness is the first step toward mastery. You can't change what you don't notice. Strong men use their senses fully. They notice the details others miss, the tone in someone's voice, the subtle shift in energy in a room, the way light changes throughout the day. This sensory awareness keeps them grounded in reality and helps them make better decisions. The present moment is where intuition speaks. When a man is fully present, he accesses wisdom beyond his conscious thinking. He gets gut feelings about people, insights about situations, and creative ideas that wouldn't come to a distracted mind. The strong man learns to trust this intuition. Finally, a man who masters presence understands that this moment is all he ever has. Yesterday is a memory. Tomorrow is a possibility. But right now, this breath, this feeling, this opportunity, this is real. He lives accordingly, making the most of each moment because he understands it's the only one guaranteed. Let this awareness settle into your being. As the English language becomes more natural to you, let this practice of presence become your new normal. Tomorrow offers countless opportunities to be fully here, in your work, in your relationships, in your quiet moments. Each time you bring yourself fully present, you exercise the greatest strength available to a man. The journey of presence continues with your very next breath. With each inhale, you receive new life. With each exhale, you let go of what no longer serves you. This simple act of breathing, done with awareness, can center you in any situation. Rest now, breathing deeply, fully present in this moment of peace. Tomorrow awaits with new opportunities to practice the master skill of being here now. Part 6. The Wisdom of Connection. We've traveled from foundation to presence. Now we arrive at perhaps the most crucial element of true strength, the wisdom of meaningful connection. Listen as we explore how strong men build bridges, not walls. A strong man understands that isolation is the enemy of growth. While he values his solitude, he also recognizes his need for genuine connection. He builds relationships with intention, not convenience. He surrounds himself with people who challenge him, support him, and tell him the truth, even when it's difficult to hear. These connections become his strength multipliers. The quality of a man's life is determined by the quality of his relationships. He invests time in his family, his friends, his mentors, and his community. He understands that these bonds require consistent effort. They're like gardens that need regular watering. Neglect them, and they wither. Nurture them, and they flourish beyond measure. Strong men communicate with clarity and compassion. They say what they mean and mean what they say. But they deliver truth with care. They understand that how you say something is as important as what you say. Their words build up rather than tear down, clarify rather than confuse, heal rather than harm. A man of connection practices vulnerability as strength. He knows that pretending to have everything figured out is exhausting and isolating. He's willing to admit when he doesn't know, to ask for help when he needs it, to acknowledge his struggles without shame. This vulnerability doesn't make him weak. It makes him relatable, trustworthy, and human. Strong men build networks of mutual support. They understand that life isn't a solo journey. They create communities where men lift each other up, share resources, and provide encouragement during difficult times. They're quick to offer help and gracious about receiving it. This web of support makes everyone stronger. The connected man listens to understand perspectives different from his own. He doesn't surround himself with echoes of his own opinions. He seeks out people with different backgrounds, experiences, and viewpoints. These diverse perspectives broaden his understanding and prevent him from becoming rigid in his thinking. A strong man mentors and is mentored. He both teaches and learns throughout his life. He shares his hard-earned wisdom with those coming up behind him, and he remains humble enough to learn from those ahead of him. This cycle of giving and receiving knowledge keeps him growing throughout his life. Strong men repair relationships when they fracture. They don't let pride prevent reconciliation when it matters. They're willing to have difficult conversations, to apologize when they're wrong, to forgive when they've been wronged. They understand that some relationships are worth the uncomfortable work of repair. The connected man builds bridges between people. He introduces friends who should know each other, connects colleagues who can help each other, creates opportunities for collaboration. He finds joy in seeing others succeed through the connections he facilitated. Finally, a man of connection understands that his relationship with himself sets the tone for all other relationships. He speaks to himself with the same compassion he offers others. He sets boundaries that protect his peace. He celebrates his progress and forgives his missteps. This healthy self-relationship becomes the foundation for all other healthy connections. Let these principles of connection resonate within you. As English becomes more natural in your mind, let these relationship skills become more natural in your life. Tomorrow brings new opportunities to connect, to reach out, to listen deeply, to be vulnerable, to build bridges, to repair what's broken, to both teach and learn. The strength you've been building finds its highest expression in the quality of your connections. Your personal power multiplied through meaningful relationships becomes an unstoppable force for good in the world. Rest now, connected to yourself, connected to your purpose, connected to the knowledge that you're becoming the man who builds others up even as he builds himself. Tomorrow awaits with new opportunities to practice the art of connection. Part 7. The Legacy of Impact. We have built the complete man. Foundation, mindset, action, heart, presence, and connection. Now we reach the ultimate purpose, creating a legacy that outlives you. Listen deeply as we explore how strong men turn their personal strength into lasting impact. A strong man understands that his true legacy isn't measured in wealth or achievements, but in the lives he changes. He thinks in generations, not just seasons. He plants trees whose shade he will never sit under. He builds foundations for buildings he will never enter. This long-term thinking guides his daily choices and gives profound meaning to his struggles. The impact-driven man defines his mission clearly. He doesn't just drift through life. He moves with purpose. He can articulate exactly what he stands for and what difference he wants to make. This mission becomes his North Star, helping him say no to distractions and yes to opportunities that align with his ultimate purpose. Strong men understand that legacy is built through consistent daily actions, not grand occasional gestures. How he treats the waiter, how he speaks to his children, how he handles frustration in traffic. These small moments of character compound into a lifetime of impact. The man who is kind only when people are watching hasn't built true character. A man of impact mentors the next generation. He doesn't hoard his knowledge or experience. He freely shares it with younger men who are following in his footsteps. He understands that his greatest legacy might be the wisdom he implants in others who will continue the work long after he's gone. The legacy-minded man builds things that last. Whether it's a business that provides jobs for his community, a family tradition that carries forward values, or an organization that solves important problems, he creates structures that will endure beyond his personal involvement. He builds to withstand storms and serve future generations. Strong men understand that their words become part of their legacy. The advice they give, the stories they tell, the wisdom they share, these verbal footprints continue influencing others long after the conversations end. He chooses his words carefully, knowing they might be remembered and repeated for years to come. A man of impact makes peace with his mortality. Rather than fearing the end, he uses the awareness of life's finiteness to fuel his purpose. He asks himself regularly, if I knew this was my last year, what would I want to complete? What relationships would I mend? What wisdom would I share? This clarity focuses his energy on what truly matters. The strongest legacies are often invisible. The values instilled in children who become good parents themselves. The confidence built in a protege who goes on to achieve great things. The community standards raised by one man's consistent integrity. These ripple effects continue for generations, their original source sometimes forgotten, but their impact eternal. A legacy-minded man regularly asks, "What will I leave behind that is better because I was here?" This question guides his major decisions and helps him allocate his time and resources toward what truly matters. He understands that the world was here before him and will continue after him. His job is to leave his small corner better than he found it. Finally, the man building a legacy starts today. He doesn't wait until he's older, wealthier, or more experienced. He understands that every day contributes to his legacy. The sum of his daily choices becomes his life's impact. The man he is today is building the legacy he will leave tomorrow. Let this understanding of legacy settle in your spirit. As English becomes more natural to you, let this sense of purpose become your guiding force. Tomorrow brings new opportunities to build your legacy through your work, your relationships, your values, and your example. The strength you've been developing finds its highest expression in what you give to the world. Your personal journey of growth becomes meaningful when it translates into positive impact for others. Your legacy isn't what you take from the world, but what you leave in it. Rest now, knowing that tomorrow offers fresh opportunities to build something that will outlive you. Your legacy begins with your next choice, your next action, your next moment of integrity. The man you're becoming will leave marks on the world that time cannot erase. This completes our journey through the 7 pillars of strong man. From foundation to legacy, you now possess the complete framework for building a life of strength, purpose, and impact. The rest is implementation, living these truths daily, growing through challenges, and becoming the man who makes a difference simply by being fully himself. Part 8. The courage of authenticity. We've covered the foundation, mindset, actions, heart, presence, connection, and legacy. Now we arrive at the most liberating truth of all, the incredible power of being completely, unapologetically yourself. Listen closely as we explore the final piece of becoming a strong man. A strong man knows that his greatest power lies in his authenticity. He doesn't wear masks or play roles designed to please others. He understands that pretending to be someone he's not is exhausting and ultimately pointless. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original that only you can be. Your unique combination of experiences, perspectives, and talents is your superpower. The authentic man speaks his truth with compassion. He doesn't stay silent to keep the peace when something important needs to be said. But he also doesn't use truth as a weapon. He finds the balance between honesty and kindness, understanding that real strength includes both courage and consideration. His words align with his values, even when it's uncomfortable. Strong men set boundaries without apology. They understand that no is a complete sentence. They protect their time, energy, and peace by clearly defining what they will and won't accept. These boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're gates that let the right people in while keeping the wrong influences out. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. An authentic man embraces his imperfections. He doesn't hide his flaws or pretend to have everything figured out. He understands that vulnerability about his struggles often helps others more than showcasing his strengths ever could. His scars become part of his story, not something to conceal. He's works in progress, and he's comfortable with that. The courageous man stands alone when necessary. He doesn't need the crowd's approval to validate his choices. When his principles conflict with popular opinion, he stands by his principles. This independence of thought and action marks true strength. The man who only follows the herd will never lead anything meaningful. Strong men express emotions without shame. They've moved beyond the outdated idea that feeling things makes them weak. They understand that tears don't diminish strength. They humanize it. Anger, when channeled properly, can fuel necessary change. Fear, when acknowledged, can lead to preparation and caution. Emotional intelligence is strength, not weakness. The authentic man follows his curiosity, not just convention. He explores interests that genuinely fascinate him, even if they don't align with what's expected. He reads unusual books, develops unique skills, and asks questions others are afraid to ask. This intellectual independence keeps him growing in unexpected directions. A man of authenticity outgrows relationships gracefully. He doesn't cling to connections that no longer serve his growth. He understands that some people are meant for seasons, not lifetimes. Letting go with gratitude rather than bitterness is a mark of maturity. He makes space for relationships that match the person he's becoming. Strong men define success on their own terms. They don't chase society's definition of achievement. They create personal metrics that align with their values and purpose. For one man, success might mean having time for his family. For another, it might mean creating something beautiful. The authentic man knows what matters to him and pursues that relentlessly. Finally, the most authentic thing a man can do is evolve. He doesn't cling to outdated versions of himself. He allows himself to change his mind, to grow beyond his past opinions, to become someone his younger self might not recognize. This flexibility isn't inconsistency. It's the natural result of learning and living fully. Let this freedom of authenticity settle into your bones. As English becomes more natural to you, let being yourself become your default state. Tomorrow brings new opportunities to be genuine. In your conversations, your work, your relationships, and your quiet moments alone. The journey to strength ultimately leads you back to yourself. Not the self you think you should be, but the one you truly are. All the discipline, courage, wisdom, and connection you've built serve one ultimate purpose: to let the real you emerge and contribute your unique gifts to the world. Rest now, comfortable in your own skin, trusting that who you are is exactly who you need to be. Tomorrow awaits with new chances to practice the ultimate strength: the courage to be authentically, completely, unapologetically you. A man of practice embraces the power of small, consistent actions. He understands the compound effect, that tiny improvements, made consistently over time, lead to staggering results. Reading 10 pages daily becomes 36 books in a year. Saving a small amount regularly grows into substantial wealth. Daily practice of English leads to fluency. He thinks in decades, not days. The disciplined man tracks his progress meticulously. He measures what matters because he knows you can't improve what you don't measure. He keeps records of his workouts, his reading, his spending, his practice sessions. These records don't judge him. They simply show him the truth of his efforts and guide his future actions. Strong men practice even when they're not in the mood. They understand that some of the most valuable practice happens on days they least feel like doing it. Pushing through resistance builds mental toughness more than physical skill. The days you don't want to practice are often the days you need it most. A man of discipline finds joy in the repetition. He doesn't seek constant novelty in his practice. He discovers the subtle variations within what appears to be the same action repeated. Each repetition of a weight lift, each practice of a phrase, each review of a lesson contains Wei-Xiao differences that lead to mastery. He finds satisfaction in the process itself, not just the outcome. The consistent man knows when to rest and when to push. He understands that recovery is part of training, not separate from it. He listens to his body and mind, distinguishing between legitimate need for rest and mere resistance. He pushes through discomfort, but respects pain. This wisdom prevents burnout while maintaining progress. Strong men practice the fundamentals relentlessly. They don't chase advanced techniques while neglecting basics. They understand that mastery lives in the fundamentals. The professional practices simple things perfectly, while the amateur practices complex things poorly. They return to basics regularly, finding new depth in what seems simple. Finally, the disciplined man makes his practice non-negotiable. His daily habits aren't things he hopes to do. They're things he does, period. Like brushing his teeth or breathing, they become so ingrained that skipping them feels wrong. This level of commitment transforms practice from something he does into something he is. Let this understanding of discipline settle into your bones. As English becomes part of your daily practice, let these principles of consistency become part of your character. Tomorrow brings another opportunity to practice, to show up, to do the work, to trust the process, to measure your progress, to find joy in repetition, to balance effort with recovery, to master fundamentals, and to honor your commitments to yourself. The strength you've been building finds its most practical expression in your daily habits. Your character is revealed not in your words or your intentions, but in what you do consistently when no one is watching. Rest now, knowing that tomorrow's practice awaits. Each day you maintain your disciplines. You're not just getting better at specific skills. You're building the muscle of consistency that will serve you in every area of your life. The man you're becoming is being constructed one daily practice at a time, one consistent action after another, one disciplined choice following the next. This is where philosophy meets the road, in the simple, powerful, transformative act of showing up every day and doing the work. The strongest men aren't those with the most talent, but those with the most consistency. You're building that reputation with yourself, one day at a time. Part 10. The Unbreakable Spirit. This is where it all comes together. The foundation, the mindset, the actions, the heart, they fuse into something unbreakable. Listen to these final words and let them anchor in your soul. A strong man's spirit cannot be broken, because he bends without breaking. He understands that resilience isn't about never falling. It's about how you rise after the fall. Every setback becomes part of his story. Every failure a lesson learned. He doesn't avoid storms. He learns to dance in the rain. His flexibility makes him unbreakable. The unbreakable man finds light in darkness. When others see only problems, he sees possibilities. When faced with obstacles, he doesn't ask, "Why me?" but, "What can I learn from this?" His perspective transforms challenges into opportunities. He carries inner light that no external darkness can extinguish. Strong men build their inner fortress. They cultivate peace that cannot be disturbed by external chaos. Through meditation, reflection, or quiet contemplation, they develop a center that remains calm regardless of circumstances. This inner peace becomes their superpower in a chaotic world. The unbreakable spirit serves others even when hurting. The strongest men understand that service heals the server as much as the served. In their own pain, they reach out to help others. This connection to purpose transcends personal suffering and creates meaning in the midst of struggle. A man with unbreakable spirit embraces both strength and tenderness. He is both warrior and healer, both rock and shelter. He understands that true strength includes the capacity for gentleness, that real power includes the wisdom to be soft when needed. This balance makes him complete. Strong men leave markers for others to follow. They don't just survive their struggles, they create maps for those who come after. Their healed wounds become guideposts. Their hard-won wisdom becomes a compass for others lost in similar darkness. The unbreakable man finds joy in the journey itself. He doesn't postpone happiness until he reaches some distant goal. He finds satisfaction in the process, meaning in the struggle, joy in the daily practice of becoming. His happiness isn't dependent on circumstances, but emerges from within. Finally, the strongest men understand that their greatest battles often become their greatest gifts. What seemed like curses transform into blessings. What appeared as endings reveal themselves as new beginnings. The pain that almost broke them becomes the source of their deepest strength. Closing affirmation. My spirit is unbreakable. I bend, but do not break. I fall, but always rise. My struggles make me stronger. My pain teaches me compassion. My journey has meaning. I am becoming the man I was meant to be. My English improves daily. My character grows stronger. My impact expands. I am ready for tomorrow. Final words. Remember these words. Carry them in your heart. Let them guide you when days are difficult and celebrate with you when days are bright. Your English journey continues. Your growth continues. Your impact expands. You are becoming the man who makes a difference simply by being fully himself. This is English Tonight, where language meets character, where words build men, where every lesson makes you stronger. Sleep well, grow strong, and wake up ready to face the world with unbreakable spirit.